This podcast is a proud member of the UUOP network.
This is episode 631 of the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast for October 1st, 2024. Hello everyone, welcome to the show. It is me, Lee. I am here with Tracy.
Hello.
And as far as your normal host score, that's it. We've sacked the other two finally. I've had enough.
You crack that joke every time.
I know I do. Chris and Alexa have taken little Lucas to the doctor. I was going to say the hospital there. No, he's fine. He's just doing his general...
Doing baby things.
Yes. And Michelle is unfortunately without power. I'm sure you've all heard the hurricane that went through this weekend has pretty much decimated the Carolinas at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So she is without power and has been without power for, 4 days now?
Something like that.
So we hope everyone that hurricane has gone through it. I can't even
Everyone
speak.
affected.
Yes. Is safe and alive, I guess, at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I know the rest of it's not good. The rest of it can be replaced, but as long as you're alive, it could be a lot worse. And I know...
Yeah, stuff counts for nothing if you're not around.
Exactly. But we have replaced them. Maybe permanently, depending on how this goes. Coming to us live from Florida itself is Patrick.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Patrick.
Nice to connect. UUOP fan turned podcaster, I guess.
That's right.
Yeah, you are taking over Chris literally at that point then. And of course, we have one of our own coming to us from the Podkey Passport podcast, which if you're not listening to, I know it's Disney and I know we kind of frown upon it, but you know.
It's ours.
It's the UUOP Network's Disney podcast, is Miss Nicole. Hello, Nicole.
Hi, everyone. We are the redheaded stepchild.
It is, because you're literally the only podcast in the network that doesn't cover Universal Orlando at some point. But yeah, it's all good. We have to cover them all.
It's world domination, one podcast at a time.
Right, so as I've just said before we started recording, I'm going to throw Patrick and Nicole for a bit of a loop because I'm going to get them to introduce themselves a little bit, just so you all know who. Jesus.
Wow.
I'm booking for the outtakes this episode. Let me calm down. Let them introduce themselves so you know who is replacing Chris and Michelle moving forward into 2025. So, Patrick.
I'm Patrick Coffey. I'm currently in South Florida. I'm in Boca Raton, Florida, and just big Universal fan. Usually it's me and my son out there crushing the parks, having a great time.
So when did you first visit?
I first visited Universal, I believe it was in 93. Pretty close to, early park days when we first moved down here from New York. I'm
pretty sure you are replacing Chris because I'm pretty sure 1993 was the first year he visited as well.
Yeah. No, and I remember vividly Back to the Future being the best ride that blew my mind when we first went.
Right. Favorite current ride in Studios and favorite current ride in Islands?
Studios is tougher. I would say probably Mummy. Yeah, Mummy's the best one.
Okay.
And without a doubt, in Islands, it's Hagrid's.
Interesting. It's weird how Islands splits people between Velocicoaster and Hagrid's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. My son, absolutely adores that ride. He's a semi-verbal autistic kid, and
Interesting.
When the TMs will ask him what his favorite ride is there, he goes, roller coaster bicycle.
Oh, I love that.
That's kind of a better name than it actually got, in fairness.
Absolutely.
And then finally, hot, frozen, or regular?
This will be a bad one. I've actually never had a butterbeer.
What?
Yeah. I don't know. I've just never been a cream soda fan or any of that, and I've just never been tempted to try it. Also, the line is a bit of a turnoff.
That's fair. Yeah, that is why you've got to take the little hint and go in the Hog's Head. The Hog's Head is always, or generally, a lot less of a line. Mm-hmm. Nicole, welcome back. So, who are you?
I am Nicole. I am located in the Panhandle of Florida, so we had a little storm damage, but we were very lucky. I moved to Florida for college many moons ago, and never moved back up north, and I'm a mom of three.
when did you first visit Universal then?
So this is going to get weird because I think I'm mirroring Michelle like Patrick's mirroring Chris. 2016.
Wow.
First trip, first Horror Nights. Yeah.
So favorite current ride in Islands and favorite current ride in Studios?
Islands is going to be Hagrid's, hands down. And for Universal Studios, The Mummy as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Good choices.
I know.
And then hot, frozen, or regular?
I would say hot.
Oh, yes. The right choice. Tracy's just pulling faces.
No. No. But I don't have an alternative anymore because they stopped doing pumpkin juice in bottles. So
I'm gonna have to try on the on tap stuff just to see how
they put
different
ice in it.
is.
So
Yeah,
it
but
waters
surely
it
you can
down.
Ask them to take the ice out.
It's not the same. You don't have to shake it up so that it isn't that consistency.
It was nice.
You don't have to
But I
chew
can
it.
understand why a lot of people didn't like it. Anyway,
I don't. I thought it was amazing.
welcome to the podcast, you two. These Nicole and Patrick will be joining us for the next 2 weeks. Yeah, there is a story about Nicole that I'm not going to share until the bonus episode. So all you Producers Club members, you've probably heard it before because I talk about it on the show because it's hilarious. But we'll save that for the bonus episode. So Tracy, do you want to start us off with some? We've got actually, and this isn't my fault, but well, one of them is and the other two aren't. Some belated Producers Club birthdays.
I assume that these are new additions to the pack.
2 are, one
And then-
is a miss. Just don't say which one it is because he'll be angry at me.
Oh, well, we just narrowed it down a bit.
Sorry, Kenneth.
I'll beat him up for you. That's your birthday gift. Okay, we are going to kick off with a belated birthday for the 20th of September, and that was for Zachary Thurston. Happy birthday, Zachary!
Happy birthday.
Yeah, you've got trained already.
They're better than Chris and Michelle are doing that.
The thing is, I actually waited for it as well. And then on September the 28th, birthday twins. We are going to kick off with the one I'm going to beat Lee up for.
Sorry, Kenneth.
This is our very own, the lovely Kenneth Leeming's birthday. Happy birthday, Kenneth!
Happy birthday, Kenneth!
Happy birthday.
birthday.
Fancy being a huge Halloween Horror Nights fan and being on the premier Universal Orlando Halloween Horror Nights podcast and having your birthday during Halloween Horror Nights.
Awesome, isn't it? Also, if Chris was here, he would say,
Feliz cumpleaños, buddy.
there you go. And the other birthday twin for the 28th is the gorgeous Claire Goodwin's birthday. Happy birthday, Claire!
Happy birthday, Claire!
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Claire.
And of course, if you two, like Patrick and Nicole, want a chance to get on the show, as well as getting your birthday shout out, you can join the Producers Club. We have, as I've already hinted, bonus episodes. I'm going to put it out there now. We're doing these weekly. I think the plan is to do a little behind the scenes 10-minute outtakes and kind of digestion after every episode.
Not blooper.
Well, they're on there.
I was going to say up reels. There you go. There's one for you.
As well as guest hosts with giveaways, with Give Kids the World donation, the amazing Facebook group, and you can join just by heading over to uuop.supercast.com. Chris is way better at doing that than I am, by the way.
He is. He has no shame.
So we will carry on, as we always do, with a Little Things with Seth.
This is Seth Kaburski, co-author of The Unofficial Guides, back with a look at all the little things new at the Universal Orlando Resort for the end of September 2024. Going to start out in the parking garage. I had previously mentioned that the escalator for the Cat in the Hat section was under construction. Well, that work has wrapped up and the construction walls have moved down to the Spider-Man section. Also, I had previously mentioned the addition of new dedicated queues for guests who have already registered with IBCCES and need to pick up their assistance passes outside and inside both theme parks. Well, since then, it looks like they have dropped the requirement to pre-register for IBCCES in advance in order to get a guest assistance pass. If you do pre-register, you can use those special queues and get your pass a lot quicker. But if for whatever reason you didn't register with IBCCES in advance, they've now gone back to allowing you to speak with someone at guest services and get a pass that way. If you can get the required documentation, I still recommend registering in advance to save yourself some time. But for folks who don't do that, they now have the option to get their access pass on the day of. All right, now that that's out of the way, before we get into the theme parks, a few updates at City Walk and the hotels. The Classic Albums Live series that has been running for many, many years at the Hard Rock Live has left that venue. If you want to see the recreations of classic rock albums, you're now going to have to go to Steinmetz Hall at the Dr. Phillips Center in downtown Orlando. Those concerts are going to resume at that new location in 2025. On the other side of City Walk, at the Epic Universe Preview Center, they recently added stand-up character cutouts that you can take a photo with of Frankenstein, Super Mario, a Niffler, and Toothless the Dragon. So go snap some selfies and get hyped for the new park. And if you are staying at the Portofino Bay Hotel and are looking to get a caffeine jolt in the morning before heading into the parks, unfortunately, the Starbucks there has closed amid all of the construction going on at that location. In the meantime, you can get a cup of Java from Sal's Pizza Place right next door. Heading on into Universal Studios Florida, I am happy to say that the Raptor Paddock float that I mentioned last time is indeed on site and intermittently in the show. It was part of the parade one day and then gone the next, so they may still be having some issues with it. I've also noticed that the Tidal float and the Back to the Future float have been absent on some days. Hopefully they'll get these problems straightened out and be able to run the full show on a more consistent basis. If you are a fan of the Villain Con Minion Blast attraction over by the front of the park in Minionland, you may want to head over to Peacock and check out a new documentary that they have posted about the making of Villain Con. It should be free to watch even if you are not a paid subscriber. Of course, the big little news this week was a little hurricane that we had. It caused Halloween Horror Nights to be canceled on Thursday, but I was at the park on Friday morning and did not notice any serious damage, with the theme parks back in operation and Halloween Horror Nights resuming that night. Finally, Universal recently released some details about the 2025 Rock the Universe concert weekend, which is happening on January 24 and 25. Featured musical acts next year will include Brandon Lake, Forrest Frank, Bethel Music, Matthew West, and Rend Collective. If you're interested in these Christian concerts, tickets are available now. Okay, let's hop on over to Islands of Adventure, where I've got a few refurb notes. In Seuss Landing, the water feature on the Cat in the Hat's marquee sign was working again, and I checked out the dark ride for my first time in a couple months and noticed they've done some nice refurbishment on the lighting inside, particularly the rain effects on the windows. In Jurassic Park, most of the effects on the river adventure seem to be working, except for that second hadrosaur who knocks her boat off course. He's still AWOL. And inside the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Hogsmeade, the stage across from Hogwarts Castle has reopened, and the Frog Choir and Triwizard shows are back on the schedule. Also in Hogsmeade, they held a Wands Up ceremony honoring the late Dame Maggie Smith, who passed away on Friday. Similar ceremonies have been done for the passing of Alan Rickman and Robbie Coltrane. And finally, if you're looking for some Harry Potter merchandise, inside the UUOP lounge over in Toon Lagoon, they've got some select items on sale for 40% off while supplies last. And we'll wrap things up over at Volcano Bay, where I've heard that the green slide of the Kala and Tai Nui drop slide pair that start at the top of the volcano has been closed long term. That green slide was known for pulling some serious G-forces and banging guests up a bit. I'll let you know if I hear any plans to reopen it. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this time. I'm going to be away in the next couple weeks, so I will see you again in 4 weeks. But until then, you can find me and copies of my guidebooks at theunofficialguides.com, where you can pre-order a copy of The Unofficial Guide to Universal Orlando 2025, coming out very soon. And until the next time, I'm Seth Kaburski, keeping an eye on all those little things for you.
The 12-year-old boy in me heard Seth. That pregnant pause between that slide is known for pulling Some serious G's. I was like, is it pulling people's pants down? Is that where we're going? No, okay.
I was laughing at the banging people
around. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Also, to add on to that, Men in Black has received new guns in advance of its big refurb, which begins November the 8th. About bloody time. He's sick of sticking his finger in that little hole.
It's weird because I've only seen one post about it. Nicole, don't encourage it, please.
I'm sorry, I was going to say it, but I'm like, no.
Say it! I can't be flying solo here with these things.
That's right. Girl power.
It's interesting that I've seen one post about the new guns and that's it. No one's been talking about it. And it seems weird that they've done it before the refurb because it goes down for like 6 weeks, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you would think that would just be part of the whole big refurb. Not, update one tiny thing. Well, a big tiny thing, I guess.
Well, yes.
Is that a like controlled leak so rumours of Men in Black disappearing don't happen? Do you think? It's a little thing that can give away.
It's interesting, isn't it? We had this same conversation about Poseidon's Fury when Poseidon's Fury had that huge refurb and like, oh, I guess it's sticking around. And then like 3 months later, they closed it forever.
Yeah.
It's really crazy to commit that much time and effort just to shut something down so soon.
Very strange. One of the things I wanted to, obviously, both affects both of you is the guest assistance thing with the new queues. How much of a difference will that make to you two?
I don't think that much. It seems like the pre-register thing, making it faster, is probably a good thing. One of the tips that is a lot of times when we get there, we'll get there kind of the day before or late in the afternoon. So I found that's always a great time to go over there with no lines, no hassle.
Yeah, I'd say the same. So we're the same way, Patrick. My middle child also has autism. So we always handle like business type stuff the afternoon before so that, when park day comes, it's not so stressful. It's one less thing to, wreck the routine for my special needs kiddo.
And sometimes that's a bad line in the morning, especially.
Yeah. How much has this new third-party thing made a difference? Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing from how they used to do it for people that actually have to use it?
I know there's a lot of people online who have been against it for medical privacy reasons, but actually I've had no issue with it. I actually like it. It kind of prevents people from abusing it a little more just because you do have to upload some documentation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's simple and I haven't had any issues with it. The castle down the road, they really adjusted their disability access pretty extremely. So I think Universal's ahead of the game in that department.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that Universal over the last 10 years have looked, maybe not so much in the last 2 years, I think they're kind of paving the way, but for when they were starting to build up to what they are, they were watching what they were doing at Disney and kind of seeing the mistakes that they made and saying, right, well, we can do that better. But they don't seem to, they always used to be, they let Disney make the mistakes and then they reacted, and they're not doing that now. I think they've kind of stepped out of Disney's shadow a lot and they're trying to be the trendsetters. That was the word I was looking for. I mean, Nicole, you'll see it a little bit more, covering both sides of it. I don't want to get on Disney too much.
No.
I think it was, I feel like it was in the spring. They really restricted the physical disabilities quite extensively. That was pretty disappointing. And I understand the efforts from both parks to stop the abuse, but at the same time, it's a slippery slope.
It's difficult, isn't it? Because you realize how many people are trying to abuse the system. It's how do you cut that out without making it difficult for the people that actually need it?
Right.
Yeah, it's
a tough thing.
It is. It really is. It's not something I would want to be on the back end trying to figure out.
Yeah, especially, as Nicole would know with a disability like autism, is sometimes it's not very obvious to the people around you, the disabilities your child may have.
Exactly. Or anybody, not even a child, is it? It's like anybody, just because you have a disability doesn't mean you look any different from anybody else. Strange.
Exactly.
I'm going to plug an old episode, Rock the Universe Details. You go back and listen to episode 490 where I got to interview Matthew West, actually, who was mentioned there as one of the concerts. That seems a long time ago.
I missed that one.
I didn't know he was. That was the worst thing.
I think I had a paper due the night before, like the night after, and I couldn't.
I tapped John
At the
Self to
time.
come and help me because
Yeah.
obviously religious things, it's not my thing. But it kind of made me like look at life a little bit differently. But
Good,
we've
good
said
to
it
have a
before.
broad
I mean, I
view.
don't know whether you two both are Rock the Universe people.
I'm not.
No,
Haven't been.
No.
I've never been.
No.
I'm more of a Mardi Gras type of
Fair enough.
sinner,
Yeah.
sinner type than a Rock the Universe type.
But it's like, if that was your thing, there's no better place to go and celebrate that, really. Can you imagine? Like a weekend at Universal, sort of doing your religious thing, but also in one of the best theme parks in the world. It's just, why not?
100%.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like a fun event. If
does.
that's your music scene, I'd love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
They've got quite a lot of entertainment packed into those few days too,
Yes.
and I know it's really popular with church groups and youth groups.
Why not? I mean, if they're making money out of it, why wouldn't you still do? I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's what Universal
It
is
is,
for.
that's
But
what
why
Of
not?
course.
Yeah.
Well, I could imagine being a little kid and it's like, oh, Mom, Dad, we got to go to this church event. Oh, it's at Universal. Oh,
Yeah.
really? Okay, let's go.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yes. Somber moment. Sadly, earlier this week, we lost the amazingly wonderful and talented Maggie Smith, Professor McGonagall to most people.
I love again
And it's just-
that they did the Wands Up ceremony
Yeah.
in Hogsmeade.
Yeah. Wands up. It's sadly it's becoming a tradition. Too many lately.
But I just love it. It's a fantastic way to honour
It
them.
is. I can't think of anything better. But she was an amazing actress. Going way, way, way back.
I think I only know her from Potter.
You'll know
Oh,
from
she
more
was
than you
in
realise.
Hook.
I've never seen it.
Oh,
What was that?
Hook.
Hook. You've never seen Hook?
No.
Wendy.
you have homework now.
He
All
does
right.
have homework.
Disney stuff.
Hook's amazing.
Yeah, actually, I remember when I was in fifth grade, there was a kid in my class who actually was in the movie Hook. He was one of the
Awesome.
Lost Boys.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so cool.
I remember
Wow.
we all thought that was so cool.
I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I think the
It's-
weird coincidence, and I had to check it because it didn't seem
Oh,
like
it
it was
was
real,
crazy,
but that
yeah.
she died on the exact same day that Michael Gambon died the year earlier.
Yes, that's not the exact same day, but the anniversary of
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Weird. That's so strange.
Yeah.
It's very strange. I checked it too, Lee. I'm such a skeptic.
Yeah.
Like,
I
this isn't right.
It was the
And it
27th, wasn't it?
You're so used to the internet of going, that can't be true.
Mhm.
Yep.
Hey, I ended up doing a deep dive into Michael Gambon and I found out things that I was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
I didn't know he had two families and
The only
Whoa,
thing I
it was
remember
just
Michael
weird. Anyway, it's
Gambon from was The Singing Detective.
yes, I remember that. I was probably
I
too
don't know
young
whether
to
you
see
got
that.
that in America. It was a very strange BBC. At the age I was, I probably shouldn't have been watching it.
Same.
But I was also
Anyway.
a boy of that age, so I probably should have been watching it. Let's just leave it at that.
Right. Yep.
We have deviated from a very sad topic.
Oh, well, you've got to lighten things up, haven't you?
Oh, wow, yeah. But yes.
Yeah. I say there's not a lot. It's weird because we say every other week on this show that there's always so much news to cover, and there's like not a lot at the moment.
No. The Minion Blast documentary, we are going to be watching that. Thank you very much.
I don't know how we can get it because we don't have Peacock over here. I have a
Oh, no.
VPN, so
That's
maybe. Apparently it's
I was
free
gonna
as
say-
well. You don't have to have a subscription to watch it.
We've watched other things.
All right.
It's somebody else's
Yeah.
house, of course.
There's other ways and VPNs and
Yeah, we're not sponsored by NordVPN for all your illegal pirating material.
Look, I wouldn't take sponsorship of them anyway because that didn't work for me when I was
think
away
that's more
last
'cause
year.
you didn't know what you were doing with it. But anyway,
Oh, there's so many things I could say. There would be so many. That's what she said afterwards.
anyway,
Wow.
shall we move on? Tracy,
Yeah.
another Producers Club birthday.
Okay, this one is in time. And, just one this time on October the 3rd. It's the amazing Devon Coleman's birthday. Happy birthday, Devon!
Birthday!
Happy birthday.
happy birthday.
Right. As I say, there's not a lot of news, so we are going to move on to a which stick. You're going to like this one, Tracy, by the way.
Oh,
'cause-
dear.
Oh.
Oh, no.
No, it's not that
Okay.
one. This one comes from Jeremy.
Oh.
I've been given the impossible task to keep this family friendly. So why is the segment name so rich with double entendre? We all know what you're trying to say with the segment name that you picked. I'm not even gonna go there, so which stick gets your lick?
Which stick gets your lick? Oh, hell yeah. Lick it, baby.
What is up, UUOP? It is Jeremy from Georgia. I am currently in the middle of Minions Land, and I'm trying the cookies and cream freeze ray pop so that I can do a which stick gets your lick, or as Tracy loves to call it, lick me stick. So we are going to try this right here, right now, live and in stereo, so y'all can hear what I have to say about it. So let's give it a shot.
These are the best ones.
Okay, so I'm a huge cookies and cream person, so this is perfect for me, and it is absolutely delicious. It is the perfect amount of cookies and cream. It is like, it's literally like just eating a cookies and cream ice cream sandwich or something like that. So delicious. It's not like, it literally is cookies and cream. That's all I can say. It's the perfect flavor. So, on a scale of, let's see, is it one being oh blech, and 5 being oh hell yeah, I have to give this a 5 for my taste, because it is definitely a oh hell yeah. So definitely recommend the cookies and cream freeze ray pop. That is me and my which stick gets your lick, or lick me stick. So yeah, try it. Definitely is a must have if you're in the park. Love the show, guys. Love listening to y'all. And yeah, looking forward to some more lick me sticks. Have a great one, guys.
Jeremy, why did you make me sound like a little leprechaun?
Because you do.
I'm not Irish.
Oh.
I'm from the other side of that little stream. That was funny.
I was editing this yesterday. Why is cookies and cream a thing? Cookies and milk makes sense. Cookies and cream?
Cookies and cream, I think, is like a code word for Oreo.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I never
it's
considered
Oreo
that.
cookies in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
I am.
So it's like, all right, we can't call this Oreo, but
Fair
it's Oreo.
All right, that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's an up for me.
I'm trying to remember
I'm
which
weird, I
ones
don't like
we
Oreos.
had.
I had
I need to go back and listen to our original recording with Chris and Alexa to find out which two we actually had, because I don't remember.
I've had the Vector. I know that much.
Anyway, Patrick, Nicole, have you tried any of the freeze ray pops yet?
I have not.
Nicole.
Me neither.
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not a good person for which stick gets your lick. We have tried the chip hat right next door.
Oh, okay.
but
Oh.
Any good?
the guacamole was surprisingly good. We just got it for the novelty,
Of course.
from the Despicable Me movie, and took some pictures. But when I dug into the guacamole, I'm like, all right, pretty good.
Sounds
Yeah, I've
good
done
to
the
me.
cafe. I was impressed too.
Yeah, we need to go back.
Mm-hmm.
Our first experience most places is never stellar.
No. No.
No.
Anyway.
Food poisoning was not something I wanted that day.
No, anyway.
I don't know. I'm hesitate with the freeze ray pops because it's so odd how they're ice cream popsicle. It's like a toss up. It's
Yeah.
still undecided.
Yeah, that's
what
what
they
we've
really are.
talked about it quite a lot. If you go in expecting a popsicle, they're not. There's a lot of them that are cream based, and I think that's what throws people off. They're very strange.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because I would think more fruit flavors
Yeah.
and things like that.
But then again, the ice cream truck doesn't just sell ice cream. It sells popsicles as well.
That's true.
Fair.
You know.
Anyway,
Okay.
Want to hear yourself on the podcast? Well, it's super easy. Just get involved in this year's interactive topic, which stick gets your lick. All you have to do is go to Freeze Ray Pops inside Minions Land at Universal Studios Florida and try as many of the popsicles as you care to try.
Once you've done that, record yourself ranking each one of them out of 5. 1 being,
Oh, hell no.
and 5 being,
Oh, hell yeah.
and send them to us at podcast@uuopodcast.com. And for the best recording, do it while you're at the parks.
yeah, Chris, Michelle, I think you're done. We've definitely got the replacement. Michelle's got enough on her plate. She could step aside.
Wow.
She is very busy. I
Always.
can speak to that.
Yeah.
I was just trying to be helpful, not cause the unemployment line to grow.
Chris is fine. He doesn't get paid, so I don't think he'll be that bothered. Oh yeah, I need to bring that up. You don't get paid for doing this. Just so you know.
Yeah.
We don't?
No, we don't.
I'm busy now, see ya.
I'm losing connection here.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I'm going through a tunnel, yeah. Tracy, last two pre-C birthdays.
Am I getting paid?
No.
No. Okay. Okay, last two. We have, on October the 12th, we have the lovely Laura Canning's birthday. Happy birthday, Laurie!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
And the following day, on the 13th, is that a Friday? I love Friday the 13th.
That is Sunday.
Oh, well.
Yep. It's RIP tour.
Ah,
And
yeah.
the reason I know that.
All right, don't rub it in.
On the 13th, on Sunday the 13th, it is, how do we describe him?
Mr. Monobrow himself. He even calls himself that.
Oh, my goodness.
He even calls himself
Wow.
that.
Gonna make fun of this poor man on his birthday.
I
It's not
know.
his birthday today. It's not until the 13th, so it's fine.
Fair enough. Oh, it's the fantastic Grayson Alba's birthday. Happy birthday, Grayson.
Happy birthday, Grayson.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
It seems we always have the most interesting interactions with our listeners at Halloween Horror Nights.
We do.
By the way, I'll say that because yes, my first meeting of Grayson was kind of embarrassing in the end.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
All right, we are going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. I wish to go to Walt Disney World.
When you wish upon a star.
The cryptos creak and the tombstones quake.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Where can our vacation wizards take you? Just tap the port key at portkeyvacations.com and let the magic begin.
Welcome back, everyone. We are here with Tracy and Patrick and Nicole. And again, it is a very slow news week. So I've decided to dig up the Producers Club podcast questions that we asked for last year. And we're going to randomly choose some of them and have some discussions, hopefully, depending on what some of them are. So, Nicole, pick me a number between 1 and... where are we going to? 55.
Let's do 31.
Number 31 has been taken. Pick me another one.
How about 26?
26 has been taken.
I quit. No. Number 3.
Number 3. How long until the crepes... So this one comes from Katie Mack. She says, how long until the crepes are 13 bucks? How much are they now?
Crepes.
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 How much are they now? Like
35.
$11.95?
I have no idea.
I think they're $12 right now.
How long till how much?
13.
Oh, soon. Christmas.
So like next year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the seasonal one. Have you, Nicole and Patrick, have you tried the crepes at all?
I have. When it first opened, I had a, I think it was chicken, spinach, and goat cheese, maybe. And I thought it was really good.
Sounds interesting.
Patrick?
That does not sound good to me.
It does not, I agree.
Yeah, some of the ones they've rotated out of have sounded good, but I've never really tried any of them. So
I had the brisket the year before last because you went to get the holiday one.
Yeah, so I had a slice of pizza at Louis instead because I didn't have.
And I waited
anything
to
I
eat,
liked.
so it was cold. I really want the lemon blueberry one that's there right now because it looks awesome. But they've never. It's a bit like green eggs and ham. They've never quite got the handle on the speed of service for that location. I don't think they expected it to be as popular as it is.
yeah, because you would think it's more of like a niche kind of product, not something that would be very popular.
But it is. I know when it first opened, the lines were crazy long for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Lots of complaints about that in the different groups and stuff for sure.
Yeah.
We were lucky the day I tried it. We didn't wait too terribly long, but it was still quite a bit for just a kiosk.
I mean, that's it. You can't... Yeah.
It's slow, isn't it? That's the problem.
Very.
Yeah.
It's like I've said before. Crepes they don't need to be instantly fresh. They can be made, and you just like flip them to heat them on that whatever you call it, the hot plate. They would save so much time if the crepes were they were already made. They were in a stack.
Or judge it by how busy the park is on that specific day. If you know it's busy, make a load, and if it's not, then you can.
Well, no, because some of the fillings will melt.
I don't mean make them.
No, the crepe. That's what I'm saying. If you already have crepes stacked, it's good. It would speed things up so much. I mean, we're not talking like having them that are hours old, but the kitchen's only across the way. They can be trolleying them over every 30 minutes.
Well, they make them there.
I know they make them there. That's exactly what I'm saying. Don't do that.
All right.
The kitchen's across the road.
Too, wasn't it Michelle that said like the girl would make one full crepe and then start another one?
Yeah, rather than it's weird. It's the same over at Green Eggs and Ham. Like it just the efficiency of it isn't great.
Right.
Anyway, I think it wouldn't surprise me if they're that price by the beginning of next year. Because everything.
And you would think Green Eggs and Ham would have way more efficiency. There's a base, product to it with the tots.
Yeah.
And just add on the toppings.
The kitchen's got way more space than Central Park Crepes has.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. But it always takes at least 10 minutes. Think the tots, how hard is it? Anyone else want to throw in an idea for when there'll be $13?
I said Christmas.
Yep, holiday flavor, and they'll jack up the price. That's my guess too.
I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it, Patrick?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a gift to them, a Christmas gift to themselves.
An extra buck of crepe. Yeah. Patrick, pick me a number between 1 and 55.
I will go with 24.
24 has been taken.
Okay. Let me go with 11.
11 is. So it comes from Melinda Dodson.
Oh, hello.
And she asks, will they tear down the Fear Factor Theatre in order to expand Diagon Alley? There has been rumours for the longest time so the Ministry of Magic attraction that's going into Epic Universe, the rumour for the longest time was that's what was going there. Obviously,
can't think of another expansion they could do unless they did... No, I've had the Tri-Wizard. That's over.
In Hogsmeade.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that kind of makes sense there. And obviously they've pivoted with that because I think I'm 100% sure that Potter over in Epic was supposed to be all Fantastic Beasts, and then because it didn't do well, they were like, right, that attraction that we'd already got.
You don't want that, so we're going to give you Potter Slash.
So it wouldn't surprise me if the R&D work for that attraction was already done, and they were prepping it to go in there and gone, how can we fit that in over there? Which, to be fair, I kind of like. I actually think it's a better fit doing what they've done.
I do.
Like that French town, and then getting the Flu network over there. I actually think it's a better overall anyway, but...
I would like to see something other than a Potter expansion in that space, though. Because otherwise, we're getting saturated. Like all the stores are 50% Potter merch.
Yeah,
and that really annoys me.
When we stayed at Dockside last year, I think it was half Horror Nights merch and half Potter merch.
Mm-hmm. It'd be cool if they could expand the other way in World Expo, because it's it hasn't had a facelift in a long time. And I do love Men in Black.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you would think if any of the Men in Black rumors are true where that could be gone, then you have a lot of space there to almost put in a separate area.
Yeah, it'd be interesting because obviously the rumors for Springfield, that the license for that's 2028, I think Kenneth said he heard when we was on before. So if you took all of Springfield plus World Expo, plus the Fear Factor stage. The only thing that makes me consider them not taking the Fear Factor stage out is I'm going to say Nightmare Fuel, because that's what's obviously there this year. They need a show of that size at Horror Nights.
I would like to see them using that year round. Put a show in. Yeah. It would be great.
But as far as even if it was just for Horror Nights, I can't see them, because we've sort of speculated, haven't we? Animal Actors isn't big enough.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So Nightmare Fuel could not go into Animal Actors?
No.
I don't think so.
That stage area is not big enough, first and foremost, and the seating area is certainly not big enough. And I think that's probably why they haven't pulled the trigger on pulling it down at this point, purely because, especially with there not being a lagoon show at Horror Nights for the last 2 years, I think it's really impacted. I know, Patrick, we've talked, you're not a Horror Nights fan.
Not that I'm not a fan, I just have not been in 15 years, so I'm not super plugged in.
Yeah. It's had a huge impact not having the lagoon show there the last couple of years, for definite. And then if you took that out as well, or took that out and put it somewhere that's much smaller, the impact on the lines and the scare zones for everything else is just going to be ridiculous. So I would say, so the question was, do you think they'll pull it down for an expansion of Diagon Alley? No, I don't think they will.
Yeah. No, and I think that's one of the kind of, if anybody has any issues with Universal, it's kind of some of these unused spaces that exist in both parks. That's kind of frustrating.
Yep. That Pandemonium Theatre over in Islands is the prime example of that. Because that doesn't get used, other than I think they use it for cheerleading
We've
stuff.
been at once, haven't we?
Yeah, we did Bill and Ted in 2004.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's never been anything in there other than, I think they did some of the Celebration of Harry Potter stuff over there for a couple of years, and I think the cheerleader stuff use it. Other than that, it never gets touched. So Patrick hit the nail on the head completely.
Yeah, and there's also an entire land over there with nothing going on right now, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah, it's this is we talked about on the show before. It's weird how they're spending all this time sort of titivating studios and islands to get them looking their best for Epic Universe opening, but then you're still going to have this whole area in Islands that people are going to walk through and go, what the hell's this then? Like, where's the ride here? And you go, there isn't one. What?
There's no rides.
Yeah, it's the best themed corridor in the world.
Yeah. Then why did it take me 15 minutes to walk through this area?
Yeah, Mythos is about Mythos. We still haven't eaten at Dr. Grooves, which I really want to, and Fire Eater's Grill. Anyway, next question. Tracy, pick me a number.
50.
50?
Yes.
Let me just cross that one off. We've done that one. Number 50 is from Chuck Schaller.
Whoa, I picked well.
He said, will Express work at Epic? We can kind of answer that. We've kind of had this answer already. Will Express work at Epic Universe with current hotels, or will existing hotels work at Studios and Islands only, and the new hotels with Epic only?
What? In English.
So will any of the current Universal Orlando hotels Express Pass work for Epic Universe?
All right.
Is the question.
Yeah, we kind of answered that.
And the answer is no.
No.
Because we know they're not getting Express. So, Patrick, you're in. Well, you're both in Florida. Have you any desire to visit Epic Universe within the first year?
Man, I don't think so. Maybe I say yes because I'm so excited about it and pumped up. I'm just going to suffer through it. But I need to coach myself in my head to not be too disappointed about lines and things breaking down and all that. But it's going to be a nightmare, I think.
It really is.
Now, that question, actually, the answer is yes. What did you ask? What was the question? How did you ask it?
I don't know.
Epic Universe within the first year. Do we plan on
Do you have any desire?
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Desire.
Yes, we have the desire.
Yes.
We do.
Maximum desire for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we have the patience?
I just, I don't want to be too down on Universal, but I just, we talk about Halloween Horror Nights there. I've said before, they can't figure out lines and just overall logistics at an event they've been putting on for 33 years at this point. It worries me that they're going to open this park that we already know people are putting off trips to Orlando this year specifically because they want to go next year for Epic. I just don't think they know how bad people want to go.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, Nicole, you'll know. We're not going to talk about it because I don't want to get anyone into trouble. But Nicole, you will know the ticketing information for that park, I'm guessing, at this point?
Just what we've already talked about.
Yes.
Yes.
So we know it's out there. We're not going to talk about it until it's officially released. My interest at this point is to see what they do for pass holders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. because obviously, we're annual pass holders and just kind of figuring out, hey, do we need to buy these multi-day tickets? We have the ultimate multi-day ticket.
Yeah. And I think that's why at this point they haven't literally come out and said anything, a ticket's just for third-party vendors, but everyone's like, in typical fashion, Universal say, keep this to yourselves, don't say anything, and then within 3 minutes, it's all over the internet.
Mm-hmm. Yes. It's very frustrating, too, because, you try to abide by those rules, and then you've got one person that, there it goes.
And then it's everywhere.
Like wildfire.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think the reason we haven't heard anything as far as pass holders is because I don't think they know yet.
Oh, that's
I feel like we, as pass holders, are committed to the park, and we like to visit the park. So it's going to be bad if they don't have anything to offer people who have been pass holders for even just a year, but those who have been for numbers of years. Like, there's no reward for being loyal.
But then
I don't know.
I had this conversation with Kayla from Taste of Universal the other day, and she was kind of arguing the same thing you have, Nicole, there. My, not argument, but my juxtaposition looking at it from Universal's point of view is they don't need to give you anything from Epic Universe, because the annual pass that you've bought is for Universal Orlando, not Epic Universe. So they can go, I understand you're frustrated because you want access to that, but the pass that you've bought, you bought for those parks, not this one.
Right.
And it wouldn't surprise me if they don't give current pass holders any access, quite honestly, and make even current annual pass holders buy, I don't know. Well, yeah, I could no, because that doesn't. They'd have to give you something else. I don't want to talk about it now because we're gonna have to talk about specifics of what they've said, haven't they? So let's
right.
Not, yeah. It's very interesting. I think I've said it multiple times before. I wouldn't want to be on the back end of this trying to figure out how to allow people access, but also manage people's access. Because if you just went, buy your tickets, come as many times as you want, it would be a nightmare. Like, can you imagine just having the park open and everyone just being able to buy tickets? Obviously, limit the tickets to whatever the park can hold, but it would just be a mess.
I agree. Yeah. And then isn't it set up, with the portals, you go into a land and back out the same way. It's not a full, like the other parks you circle around. Yeah. So that's going to be interesting.
Very, because
I always thought that could be a big bottleneck.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Tracy, you're the only one of us, I assume, that would have. Nicole, have you been out to Hollywood?
I have not.
Or even Patrick, have you been out?
No. Well, actually, I have, but not any time in the last 25 years.
So you obviously went to Super Nintendo World in Japan last year.
In Japan, yes, I did.
All right. How did you? I know you went in and stayed and then come, but did you notice? Like, was it a pain in the ass getting in and out of Super? Because obviously, like we're saying, every other park is a circle effectively, so it's easy to get about. Because
this was more like a lollipop.
Because you're in,
you go through a tunnel.
People are coming in and out the same way. Did you notice, like, if it made any difference? Because you said it was busy.
It was busy, but it wasn't. I wasn't pushing through anybody when I was leaving.
Right.
To me, though, the difference might be also the Japanese culture versus the American culture might be a big difference on how that's handled.
Maybe.
Well,
go on, Tracy. What does that mean?
I was going to say
we don't have many Japanese listeners. It's fine. You can say what you want.
I don't know about that because actually, down in the throngs of the very hot Super Nintendo world, there was not a lot of patience from them or standing in lines or anything like that, which they were like which was more like in the cities in Japan.
You found them quite rude, let's be honest.
I experienced some
What did they call
interesting
you?
moments.
Go back home, white tourist trash, wasn't it? They called
White tourist devil.
devil.
Go home, white tourist
my
devil.
goodness.
I got that.
Wow.
I got that a few times in English and Japanese.
Wow.
Wow. That's wild.
And it's kind of like, cool. The first time I laughed because it was a load of teenage boys, but getting it from adults, that was kind of like, I'm in a very tourist area.
Very strange.
And it was a stall holder as well. So it's like, well,
All right.
we aren't here.
What?
You don't have a reason to have a stall.
It was a team member.
No, it was a stall holder outside of
outside
of the parks. It was in Osaka.
All right. Very strange.
The worst one.
That's
yeah,
awful.
It's
oh
just,
my goodness.
But going in and out wasn't a problem.
Interesting because
They look narrower than they are. Those
I think the
tunnels.
difference is with Epic is every land's like that, whereas Japan, it's only Super Nintendo World and the rest of the parks the same as the other parks. Whereas every land in this park, you've got to go in and come out the same way. Look, you'll end up with people not even trying to figure out like.
The world is the same in Japan as well.
Oh, is it?
It's
You
like,
didn't go in.
it's kind
did you?
I didn't, but you look down and it's with the trees and the big rocks.
Oh, it is. You're
It's
right. 'Cause
quite-
you go around the Black
creates
Lake,
like
don't you? Yes, I think
tunnel.
you're right. Actually.
And Tracy, in Japan, did you need a reservation to get into that area of the park, or was it just open?
Well, you do. I got there about an hour before.
Yeah, there's a bit of a loophole.
The gate opened. So, I'm taking photos of the globe and talking to my friend before he left, because apparently it's a child's park, so he didn't want to go in. He regrets that.
Massively.
Yeah. So as we got let in 15 minutes early, but we were filtered. And we could only go in one direction, and they took us straight to Super Nintendo World. We got in without a reservation.
So I know from watching Chris over at TDR Explorer and reading some of his stuff prior that there is a reservation system. So you can buy an Express Pass. The Express Pass, their Express Passes for the Universal Japan are weird because they do about 6 different ones, and there's like one that'll give you access to like these 2 rides plus these 2 rides, or these 2 and these 2. It's very strange, but it'll give you priority access because the Wizarding World over there is the same. You need a reservation to get in. But the reservation system starts once the park opens, it doesn't actually kick in for about 5 minutes. So if you can get into the park before that reservation system kicks in, you can just go straight in, which is basically what you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if Epic, adopts that same kind of reservation system for each of the lands.
I hope not.
It's just going to be because
they may do initially.
It's just weird, isn't it? Because you're going to find very quickly which lands are the most popular and which aren't. And I know that's the same as any other theme. Like Islands is the same, as Studios is the same, but I think it's just going to be even more obvious in this park.
Because people aren't filtering through to go to other lands.
It's just right. It's very strange. Like, I hope it succeeds, because I think we need to break theme park tradition at this point, because they've just become the same thing. And I think we need to step into 2024 and do something completely different to anything we've experienced before. I just hope they're ready, because in the day and age we are, those people there on first day, if it does not go smoothly, the entire world will know about it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Look at when Volcano Bay opened. I remember that weekend of following like social media outlets, and it was an absolute show, and people were not shy in telling you how much of a show it was.
I'll be quite honest, I am expecting to hear nothing but complaints and bitching, because people are so fast to shout as loud as they can about failures, but they never shout loudly about the triumphs.
It's the negative ones that shout the loudest.
Yes.
Yep.
And it's
absolutely
teeth and troubles. Everything has teeth and troubles. It's probably going to take a couple of years for the entire thing to settle in properly.
And that's the thing, because like, we're all big Universal fans, and you want to be there as soon as you possibly can. But realistically, you're not going to get the true Epic Universe experience, like you said, for a couple of years.
Yeah, it's exciting times.
It's just going to be crazy crowded. Do you guys desire to go within the first year that it's open, Lee and Tracy?
Yes.
Desire, yes.
Yeah. Reality, probably not. We're in Florida. I doubt I'll go the first year.
For us, it's a different thing, because like, I feel like as the longest running Universal Orlando podcast, we should be there within the first couple
what are the
of
chances
months,
of us
really.
having the opportunity to experience this again?
That's when do you get to go to the the opening, or at least within the first few months of the first brand new theme park built in Orlando since 1999. It's a massive thing. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we don't even know when it's opening at this point. And everything I'm hearing is it's behind schedule. We're not allowed to. It's the American sweepstake.
No, my guess for it opening.
Oh, maybe.
Well, you lot are already out.
Isn't Michelle still doing that free trip? We're all out there, isn't it? Right, let's move on. Did we answer that question? Yeah,
yes.
Because it's already been answered by Universal themselves.
Thanks, Chuck.
So I'm going to pick one. I'm going to go, even though I'm just choosing at random, I'm going to go 39. And it's already been ticked, so I'm going to go 20. I'm going to go 20. And this one comes from Michelle.
Oh, she found a way in.
Will Universal ever up their character dining game?
I hope so.
They are missing so much opportunity.
Agreed.
I just like even scare actor dining going away.
Yeah.
This doesn't make any sense to me.
I mean, move scare actor dining, move it to a hotel then.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
What a
and
great
is there
idea.
a place currently to eat with like the Minions and Despicable Me characters or no?
I want to say Royal Pacific.
Yes, that's the move that from.
I'm going to Google it just to make sure.
I forgot what it's called.
It used to be over.
La Bamba.
Was it?
Yeah, Cafe La Bamba.
Yep.
That's where we saw.
That was the
Hop and all of that.
Yeah, that was the superstar character.
Yeah,
breakfast.
and then Minions were in there.
Yeah.
You were at the toilet and you missed the Minions.
See, I don't know why they don't do one at Minion Cafe. I mean, it's there. Do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I completely agree, Nicole. That's interesting. So,
I want Death Eater dining.
Yes, that would be so cool.
Wouldn't that be cool?
But I mean, really, guests love the meet and greets and any kind of dining experience. I mean, look at Grinch; it sells out almost immediately.
Yeah, I know.
And it's funny that you look at the ones that do it for Universal are actually the adult character meals, not the kids ones.
Oh, it's wasted on kids.
I don't know whether they do. I can't find anything specific that
Confisco,
says.
that used to be amazing in Confisco.
Yeah, that was good.
I wish they'd bring that back. They could do something in Circus McGurkus.
The scare actor dining at the hotel's a great shout, actually.
Why,
even though I know one of the benefits of being in the park prior to Horror Nights opening, but that's a really good shout.
And honestly, Cabana's probably the best one because that food court is very open.
Yep. And they have that whole upstairs that they do they're not doing one this year, but the special thing.
Yeah,
and honestly, who cares if it's in the park now that Monsters Cafe is gone?
Yeah.
Well, it's also getting people around the hotels. Well, I'm a big advocate for going and visiting the hotels, have a look around, go and sit at the bar, have a drink or grab a snack.
They're starting to do that, aren't they, with doing all the themed Horror Night stuff that they've really pushed out this year for all the hotels to get people to go to the other hotels. And they should have been doing that for years. But I don't know. My answer to that is no, I don't think they will because they haven't. I think if you look at what we've been given for Epic Universe so far, I think that's the route that Universal are going to go down on. So you look at... what's the... So the eatery in Dark Universe that's going to be...
The steakhouse?
Yeah, the one that they've got like the vampire hunters in there that are kind of... So it's not a character meal, it's kind of more like a themed with the servers and stuff kind of playing a role rather than... Like an immersive theatre dinner rather than a character meal, I think is what Universal are going to start doing more of rather than...
Yeah.
To do something different because they've never... I mean, have either of you two been to a character... Tracy, I know you are because we've done it there, but Patrick and Nicole, have either of you been to a character meal at Universal?
No.
I have not at Universal. I've done it at the other park that we don't like to talk about before. And if you have little kids, it is a home run because you get to see them all in one spot, not moving around. And that's why I'm surprised they really haven't, with the success of Despicable Me and Minions and it's a very popular franchise. You think kids would eat that up.
Yeah, you think a How to Train Your Dragon breakfast in Burke would would be a home run, because who wouldn't want to have breakfast with Vikings and stuff like?
Just Viking style as well. I mean, the kids, I want that.
They might do, yeah. I'm sure they have.
Oh, yeah.
For all we've had all the overviews of everything that's going into each land, I'm sure there's going to be more stuff that they haven't told us yet.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's.
But it's not something they've ever been great at. Because that Marvel character dinner's still ongoing, and you never hear anybody talk about it.
I was going to say about
They
that.
don't promote it. They really don't. Even from an agent perspective, they don't. I mean, there's a flyer out there maybe, but not,
But that's universal. That's universal. They don't know how to promote things very well. They've dipped it's a lot of the things that you two both said there that Disney do so well, and that Universal have dipped the toes in with dessert parties and stuff and they'll do it once and it doesn't really work, and rather than trying to learn from the mistakes they made from that year, they just go, we just won't do it now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I almost wonder if it is, Disney recognizing that their characters appeal to a younger audience, and this is more set up for a younger audience. Like my sister, for example, she's going to be in Orlando in a couple of weeks, and she has a son who just turned 1. And I'm like, they're not going to do Disney. I'm like, what would be good is a character breakfast.
Yeah.
Go do that. So they already booked that and get some interactions and fun pictures and things like that, where the Universal characters, with the exception of Minions, do they really appeal to, that younger audience that's going to be, amazed seeing so-and-so walk in the room?
Yeah, probably not. That's why I'm saying, for you look at how popular the scare actor dining and that type, aim it more at adults.
Mm-hmm.
Do a Mardi Gras something. You could do. There's opportunities. Like Nicole, like you said, the Grinch breakfast sells out immediately, straight away. So it's a thing that they could sell if they just find that right
balance.
Just the right theme for it, I think, is the thing. And they just, I don't know, like I say, it's like you look at the dessert parties. I mean, we've done the one at the Magic Kingdom because I'm going way back now, Wishes. That's how long ago we did that. But it was completely sold out, and it wasn't cheap.
Nope.
And it brings out the worst in people.
I was going to say, and when there's some Brits, and all my fellow Brits will agree with me, Brits in Disney are the worst.
To be fair, our experience of people in Disney last year was not Brits.
No. But when it comes to food, there was one particular person I'm thinking of at that dessert party, and it was just vile individual.
Because they've tried to do it with Cinematic Spectacular, whatever the hell that thing was called, and then they did one for something else a few years ago. But like I say, they do it once, and then for whatever reason it doesn't sell. I mean, I suppose again they've started dipping the toe in it a little bit the last 2 years with the Ride and Dine package for Mardi Gras, and that seems to be
people
fair.
Love that.
Yeah. When it works, I've heard a lot of complaints, the timings and stuff. But
you see, Cinematic, I've thought for a long time they've got all that grassed area, right? So why don't they do basically a picnic bag, like a bagged lunch but later in the day, a bagged supper, and there's a blanket to sit on, or little...
There's no grassed area though there now, it's all hard standing.
They're all hard standing. Well, that's disgusting. Get the greenery back.
Doesn't mean that long since you've been there, do you? Yeah,
it was very wet last time I was there. But they could have done that.
It would have been perfect.
And then right at the front, because obviously that's elevated, right on the water edge, little bistro tables.
I mean, you still could do
way,
that. Have private. There's got to be private areas for VIP tours.
And because people would eat that up. Pardon the pun.
Yeah, I agree with Nicole. They're leaving a lot of money on the table for not even really attempting to do some of the stuff that Disney make money hand over fist for.
And it's things people ask for. That's what's so crazy.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, we've done episodes before of it's like if we have it so many times where people will email us on the show and ask us, I'm going for an anniversary or a honeymoon or a big birthday. What can we do to celebrate? And it's like, there's nothing really. There's nothing special, like add-on wise, that you could go and do this dessert party or do this character. they don't really do anything out of the ordinary, and it's just like you're leaving money on the table. And like, look, I don't want Universal to become Disney and start nickel and diming everyone, but it's like people want these things. People are asking for them. Then just do it.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even call that nickel and diming. It's, you know, creating a fun experience for you to take part in. Like if you think it's expensive, you don't want to do it, you skip it.
Exactly.
And, you know, enjoy dinner or breakfast somewhere else.
Yeah. Because speaking of Mardi Gras, they did the crawfish broil, didn't they, for a couple of years, and then that disappeared. It's just weird.
It's weird. Maybe the success of Premium Scream Night will lead to more specialized things.
Possibly.
I don't know.
Michelle is singing from the rooftops about how amazing that experience was.
I know. She said it was great.
Yeah. I don't think it will ever be that good again, because I think people stayed away because they weren't expecting it to be that good, and now everybody's raving about how good it is. If they do it next year, it will not be that quiet.
No.
Cool. Right. That is going to wrap up this episode. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us. It's been fun. Been different, having two different opinions.
It has.
Well, thanks for having me.
You are welcome. And of course, we will wrap up with a listener submitted How Bad is Fast and Furious? And this one comes from Sonia Miranda.
Yay!
So, Fast and Furious Supercharged is so bad.
How bad is it?
Fast and Furious Supercharged is so bad that it's like spending your holiday visiting family instead of going on vacation.
Oof.
Ooh, ouch.
I love how she got the family in there. It's perfect, though.
It is.
Of course, you know, we haven't got too many left, so we'd love you to send in your How Bad Fast and Furious is Supercharged jokes, along with your Which Dick Gets Your Lick recordings. And of course, we're still looking for everyone's Halloween Horror Nights 33 house rankings. We haven't got many, actually. I'm being surprised to put that together, because we're going to be doing ours shortly. And you can send all of that bump to podcast@uuopodcast.com. And we'll see you next week, guys.
Are you insane? Get out of here. The curse, it's real. The podcast is over. So, the Magi want you to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, TikTok, and Pinterest. Just search UUO Podcast. For all the podcast news and articles, check out our blog at uuopodcast.com. Contact us by emailing us at podcast@uuopodcast.com. And if you want to join the Producers Club, email us at uuopproducers@gmail.com. Silence! With your subscriptions, we shall rule for all eternity. Listen and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Not even the Magi can save you now. There is no escape. Your end shall be my beginning. Prepare yourself for your next trip by emailing Michelle at portkeyvacations.com. She can take care of all aspects of your next Universal Orlando vacation. We hope you enjoyed your podcast. Please remain seated and keep your arms and legs inside the prepare to forfeit your souls. Check out the other podcasts on the UUOP network. Rush of Fear, Halloween Horror Nights podcast, the theme park duo for all your West Coast news and info, the Taste of Universal, Universal Orlando Food Podcast, and the newest podcast on the network, the Portkey Passport, our Disney-centric podcast. So hey, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. I would have enjoyed this podcast a lot more if I had gotten my cup of coffee.